Okay, well, for now, I think it's important to address the latest changes that have come in, or rather, been introduced by the IRDAI. And this time around, it's also in the health insurance space. The IRDAI has proposed to reduce the sum insured on standard health indemnity insurance to 5 lakh rupees. Not just that, there have also been some changes perhaps on group insurance norms. So to talk about that, and also of course what are the other guidelines that have been issued, especially with respect to exclusions and inclusions of new diseases, we have with us joining in from SBI General Insurance, Subramanyam Brahmajosyula. He's the head of underwriting and reinsurance with the company. Thank you so much, sir, for joining in on the Money Show. I would like to start off first by, getting in your understanding and, explaining to our viewers what exactly is the standard health indemnity insurance. I mean, why would an individual opt for that as opposed to, your regular health insurance or a Mediclaim?
Absolutely. Hi. Great to be with you. And for most of us, health insurance has almost become an essential insurance plan. And one of the major challenges faced by the average customer is to choose the most appropriate plan from the huge number of health insurance programs which are available in the market. And what the regulator has done is to come out with a standard policy where the sum insured can range between 1 lakh rupees to 5 lakh rupees. The biggest advantages of this product is that it's a standard product which must be offered by all the insurance companies. So basically, whichever company you buy this from, you will get a standard coverage, and therefore there's no requirement in terms of going through the fine print which is generally found in an insurance policy and having to satisfy yourself whether certain condition is covered or excluded from policy A as compared to policy B. So this standard policy, the only differentiator will be a couple of things. Number one, the premium which will be charged by individual insurance companies, which they can do as per their own judgment. And the second, of course, will be the reputation which the company has in terms of claim servicing. But the biggest advantage of this policy is whichever company you buy it from, you get the same product in 100% respect, in every respect.
Would you say then, obviously, I suppose the more options that come around, the more difficult it is to choose, and hence, the regulator has also proposed to mandate all general and health insurers to offer this standard indemnity-based health insurance product. Now, would you say that this would be perfect for somebody who's just getting introduced to the world of health insurance, for all our young viewers out there, the entry level of health insurance, if you could call it that? Would you say this is the perfect product for them?
Yes, certainly. I think if you are a first time health insurance buyer, it makes sense to go for this product. Because as I said, it's a standard product. It covers hospitalization as long as it exceeds a period of 24 hours or more. And it's available throughout the country and with all insurance companies. But I should add, by the way, that if you would like to go for a full-fledged product with all the bells and whistles, whether it's in terms of higher sums insured or any other coverage, that is also available. All that the regulator has said is this product needs to be mandatorily offered by all the insurance companies. And as you said, for a first time buyer, I think it makes sense. Absolutely, no doubt about that.
I think back in February as well, the regulator had come out with this guideline on standardization of health insurance products. And now, of course, more recently, they've introduced this reduction as well on the sum insured. Are there any other standout points in that draft that would affect individuals who may want to opt for this insurance product?
No, so I think as far as the February draft is concerned, that was primarily to do with this standard product. However, in the past few months, the regulator has been making concerted efforts to improve the penetration of health insurance in particular. So apart from the standard product, a number of draft guidelines, circulars, etc. have been issued by the regulator, where certain exclusions, for example, which might have been found in one policy but not found in another policy, or conditions covered in one policy but not covered in another policy. These inconsistencies, an effort has been made to either reduce or eliminate them altogether. So the regulator has recently issued circulars making it very clear, for example, on certain conditions which cannot be excluded under a health insurance policy, or certain conditions which can be excluded subject to certain sublimits and other conditions, etc. They've also made it easier, and I think this is a very important thing from a customer's point of view, that telling insurance companies pretty much that don't deny a person health insurance coverage just because he or she might be suffering from a certain health condition. To give you an example, if someone is suffering from HIV/AIDS, the idea is that the regulator is encouraging insurance companies to say, okay, exclude HIV/AIDS if you want, but at least provide them coverage for all the other, illnesses or diseases they might be susceptible to at any stage in life. So these are part of the circulars issued by the regulator, and I think they'll improve the penetration. And from a customer's point of view, to me, they are a very positive development.
Okay, I think what you're also referring to is that pre-existing disease bit. I think certain diseases are to be treated as pre-existing in the first 3 months of diagnosis. I think how will this also essentially help insurance companies as well as the person who is being insured? If you could talk a little about that.
Yeah, so I think what happens is that there is every possibility that at the time of taking insurance, to the best of your knowledge and belief, you might not be aware of the fact that you have a pre-existing condition. So what the regulator has done is that if after a period of 3 months such conditions are diagnosed or treated by a doctor, such conditions can also be covered under the policy. So it gives a certain amount of benefit of doubt. There are several occasions, several instances where, as I said, we are not aware of the fact that we might be having a pre-existing condition, and in all good faith such a declaration is made to the insurance company at the time of taking the policy. So the regulator has said that in such instances coverage should be provided, and this again, as I said, is to the benefit of the customer.
Okay. Just very quickly, I also want to understand from you, sir, the claims process. I understand that the regulator has made that as well much more transparent and simpler. So if you could shed some light on that too.
Yeah, so the claims process by and large for health claims is indeed fairly transparent and obvious. The biggest advantage you have in a claims this thing is that you have the option of going for a cashless treatment, if you like. In other words, basically, whether it's for planned or unplanned surgery, if you are admitted to what is called a network hospital, which each and every insurance company has, you would not need to pay anything from your pocket. You can, in other words, undergo the treatment in the hospital, and at the time of discharge, perhaps a few forms need to be signed, but then the insurance company takes care of the payment directly with the hospitals, either on its own or through what are called TPAs, third-party administrators. So this entire process becomes seamless, because when you or your loved ones are sick and are hospitalized, the last thing you want to worry about is where you will find the money to pay for the claim, or what's the other paperwork, or discharges getting delayed because the claim is not paid, etc. So the entire process has now been made seamless, and it's pretty much almost, I would say, requiring minimal intervention on the part of the person hospitalized or his or her family members. So it's become very simple now.
Mr. Brahmajosyula, thank you so much for joining in, very patiently answering all those questions and queries, and of course talking about the new health insurance norms that have come out.